We're learning more information tonight about how the driver charged with hitting and killing Trooper Michael Pahira in Schuylkill-County was able to obtain a commercial driver's license, despite the federal government saying he was in the country illegally at the time of the crash. It's been just over a week since Trooper Pahira was killed along Interstate 81 near Ashland. State police say Michael Bon, a Haitian immigrant, was behind the wheel of a truck that veered off the road and hit him. Federal officials say Bon did have a valid and active commercial driver's license, or CDL, at the time of the crash. The state of Massachusetts issued that license, and officials there say that license was issued through a federal program that allows foreign nationals to get a commercial driver's license. This is Michael Bon as he was taken out of the state police barracks in Frackville earlier this month, accused of hitting and killing state police trooper Michael Pahira. On the morning of July 1st, investigators say Trooper Pahira was conducting a motor vehicle inspection along southbound Interstate 81 near Ashland when a truck driven by Bon veered off the road and hit Trooper Pahira. Bon faces charges including homicide by vehicle. The criminal complaint did not state why Bon veered off the road, but it does detail a lot of information surrounding the crash, including that Bon held a valid commercial driver's license issued by the state of Massachusetts. In the days after the deadly crash, the Department of Homeland Security told Newswatch 16 that Bon came from Haiti to the U.S. legally in July of 2024. He entered as a parolee. That's someone who's allowed to come into the United States for a short period because of an emergency, even though they have not officially been admitted under U.S. immigration laws. In October of 2024, DHS says Bon filed an application for temporary protected status with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. That application was eventually denied. Then on June 13th of 2025, Bon was issued a notice of termination of parole by USCIS. But Homeland Security says Bon refused to leave and stayed in the country illegally. Bon's criminal defense attorney spoke with Newswatch 16 exclusively, explaining why Bon decided to leave his home country of Haiti.
And there's a lot of gangs in Haiti that prey on the citizens of Haiti. So it's not a place he wanted to continue to live, nor did he want his family to live there. So he left, and he was in the process of gaining asylum in Massachusetts.
The Pennsylvania State Troopers Association questions how Bon was able to obtain a commercial driver's license. In a statement saying in part, quote, "This is not about politics. This is about right versus wrong. Trooper Pahira was a hero, and his family, fellow troopers, and the public deserve answers." Massachusetts officials tell Newswatch 16 Bon was legally eligible for the CDL since he first applied before being ordered to leave the country. According to the Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles, that initial application for a non-domiciled CDL came in March of 2025, 3 months before Bon was told to leave the U.S. Then Bon applied for renewal in February of this year. The Massachusetts RMV says both applications were approved in accordance with federal law. Just a month later, in March of this year, the Trump administration put a final rule into effect. That rule directs states not to renew non-domiciled CDLs or issue new ones. Massachusetts officials say they rely on a federal database to determine if someone is eligible to work in the U.S., and that database shows Bon was eligible at the time the CDL was issued and renewed. They say if Bon would have applied for renewal next year, he would have been rejected in accordance with federal law. According to the Department of Homeland Security, ICE lodged an immigration detainer against Bon after his arrest, asking police not to release him from jail. Bon's attorney claims he has not been served with any paperwork regarding that detainer. He does say Bon has no prior criminal history, and his license was valid at the time of the crash. However, he argues his immigration status is not a factor in this criminal case.
His immigration status has nothing to do with the cause of the accident. Whether he was legal or illegal doesn't have anything to do with what caused the accident.
Bond faces several charges, including homicide by vehicle, involuntary manslaughter, and aggravated assault by vehicle. He's scheduled to be in Schuylkill County Court late next month for a preliminary hearing. And coming up tonight on Newswatch 16 at 6, we'll have more about what Bond's attorney had to say about those moments that led up to the deadly crash, including what may have caused Bond to veer off the road.